Welcome, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting to order with the opening prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us.
And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
Thine is the kingdom, power.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Got a motion? Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of the consent agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Chair votes aye. Unanimous, Ms. Hurley. Mr. Taylor.
Good evening. One item tonight, legislative bill number 2020-12, an act to amend Chapter 225 of the Wicomico County Code titled Zoning, Sections 225-67, Table of Permitted Uses, excuse me, to add marine supplies, boats, or equipment sales, service, and repair as a permitted use in the table of permitted uses for the light industrial district. And we have Gloria Smith here tonight. This is a public hearing, but she is also here to answer any questions.
Okay. At this time, we're going to open the floor to the public hearing for legislative bill number 2020-12. Any public comments, please state your name and county of residence. Do you have any public comments for this legislative bill? All right. This time we're going to close the floor to the public hearing. I need a motion to approve legislative bill number 2020-12.
So moved.
Got a motion. Who was the second?
Who's the motion?
Got a motion by Mr. Hastings and a second by Mr. McCain. Any discussion? All in favor of legislative bill 2020-12? You can call your name by roll. Councilman Cannon.
Aye.
Councilman Hastings.
Aye.
Councilman Ackley is not here. Councilman Holloway.
Aye.
Councilman Davis.
Aye.
Councilman McCain. Chair votes aye. So legislative bill 2020-12 passes unanimously. Ms. Hurley.
Okay, next on the agenda this evening is a public hearing on resolution number 118-2020. This is to amend the fiscal year 2021 capital budget and fiscal years 2021-2025 capital improvement plan to change the funding source for the government office building roof replacement project in the amount of $110,000 from general obligation bond proceeds to pay-go funding from the GOB permits and inspection office renovations project in the amount of $35,000, and the OCH engineering evaluation east wall waterproofing project in the amount of $75,000. A public hearing notice was published in the Daily Times and posted on the county's website stating that a public hearing would be held this evening at 6 p.m. We do have Mr. Peyton Matthews here, General Services Supervisor, and Pam Olin, Finance Director, if there are any questions.
Okay, this time we're going to open the floor for the public hearing for resolution number 118-2020. Any public comments, please state your name and county of residence. Do we have any public comments for this resolution? Any public comments? Okay, we're going to close the floor to the public hearing. Need a motion to approve resolution number 118-2020.
So moved.
Do you have a second?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of resolution number 118-2020, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Chair votes aye. Pass unanimously, Ms. Hurley.
Next is resolution number 119-2020, confirming the appointment of Katie Rouse as the Deputy Director of Finance for Wicomico County Department of Recreation, Parks, and Tourism.
Right, need a motion to approve resolution number 119-2020.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of resolution number 119-2020, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Chair votes aye. Resolution number 119-2020 passes unanimously with 6 votes tonight. Ms. Hurley?
Next for your consideration is Resolution Number 120-2020, confirming the appointment of Charles L. Smeckel as the Deputy Director of Finance for Wicomico County, Maryland.
Okay, need a motion to approve resolution number 120-2020.
So moved.
Got a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Got a motion and a second by Mr. Davis. Any discussion? All in favor of resolution number 120-2020, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Chair votes aye. Resolution number 120-2020 passes unanimously with 6 votes, Ms. Hurley.
Next, the Acting County Executive has submitted a reappointment to the Wicomico County School Building Commission. The School Building Commission serves in an advisory capacity to the county and the Board of Education in the area of school building construction. Resolution number 121-2020 is confirming the reappointment of Ernest F. Davis to the Wicomico County School Building Commission.
All right, need a motion to approve resolution number 121-2020.
So moved.
Got a motion. Who was the second?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Any discussion? Okay, I'm just teasing. All in favor of resolution number 121-2020, please say aye.
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 Any opposed, say nay. Chair votes aye. Resolution number 121-2020 passes unanimously with all 6 votes tonight. This time, we're going to open the floor to public comments. Please limit all public comments to 3 minutes or less. And any presented material may be submitted to the council members. Please include 10 copies. Do we have any public comments? You can, if you have, you can hand it to Mr. McCain, and he can pass it around. The podium's back there. Sorry about that.
For those of you who don't know, my name is Nick Simpson, and I'm the developer of the Ross project in downtown Salisbury. And when I was dreaming up the project, I was looking to build a landmark project that would really change the dynamic of that area and create something that would be unique, and it would really just turn heads and be a major impact in the community. When we were finalizing our plans, we came up with a project that would house 300 individuals. That'll have a rooftop space for people to in the public to go enjoy the view. And during the construction, it will take between 30 and 100 individuals to construct the building for 20 months, creating new jobs in our area. And as we were going through the project and raising the capital necessary for this building, we've started to realize that Wicomico County is not as competitive as other places around the country. And instead of just bringing a problem to the council and saying, hey, we need to become more competitive, I was looking for solutions from these private equity individuals that we were talking to. These individuals, I've talked to over 350 financial groups, family offices, and private investors, and they can take their money anywhere in the country. And to get it to come here to Wicomico County in the tunes of millions and millions of dollars worth of investment, we need a program that's going to stimulate jobs, that's going to create a robust pipeline of future tax revenue for our community that would not be realized but for a tax incentive program. And so we worked together to put together a Horizon tax credit incentive, and I met with members of the community who are business owners and concerned citizens, people who took time to really understand the issue and contributed their feedback. People like Frank Hanna and Ed Wilgus and David Harkins. And these people want to see our community move forward like I do. And I'm here today just looking for the opportunity to meet with you, to be heard, and work with the best solution to create a solution and move our community forward and make major investments in our Wicomico County. So,
Thank you, Mr. Simpson.
thank you.
Do you have any more public comments? Okay, closing the floor to public comments, council comments. Mr. McCain.
Yeah, just one quick comment. I know that actually some people are still voting, I guess. The polls are getting ready to close, but I think we definitely owe a huge gratitude to Anthony and all our election board folks that work with them and volunteer at our polls. I think everyone, I heard this over and over again when they went to vote. This was obviously very different this year, and the expectation, no one was real sure what to expect when they showed up, but they just did an outstanding job moving people through the lines, keeping people safe, and they've just done an exemplary job, and I think they all need to be commended.
Thank you. Any more council comments? Ms. Holloway?
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Cannon?
I was pointing at Josh. Not all at once.
I thought you guys were waving me off that no. Mr. Hastings, please.
I'll be brief. Yeah, I'd like to add to that, of course, that we're really great to see all the volunteers that have helped out for the, for the election. We've got till 8 o'clock tonight before the polls close. So thanks to all the folks who have, and of course all the candidates. We do have a member of our own. There is a special election. Miss Ackley is not here because she's currently has an election tonight, but I know that's always I can't say it enough. Anyone who's ever run an election before, it's a really tough process regardless, and win or lose, whomever, it doesn't matter. It's a lot to put yourself out there and to do, and so.
Thank you, Mr. Hastings.
Oh, and last thing I'll say before I forget too, just to make sure that anyone who's folks are paying attention, we've now had a couple more coronavirus deaths in Wicomico County. We now have over 50. There's 52 individuals who have, Wicomico residents who have died from the coronavirus. 2,600, more than 2,600 cases. We've seen the all-time spike in the most amount of cases, about 100,000 a day in the U.S. So just to emphasize that for folks who are listening, to really get out there and make sure that they're staying away from folks, but taking care of your family and checking in on folks, because in the best way possible. It's not a good situation. So socially distanced, but make sure that we can continue to check on those who are not doing too well. So.
Thank you, Mr. Hastings. Mr. Cannon?
Oh, thank you.
What's that?
No, I'm fine.
You're good? Did anyone else have any comments? Okay. And I did want to comment, too, on the Board of Elections. They did a great job. I went to several facilities today, and I actually voted at Beaver Run. I wanted to try going to a different location, and they had a lot of workers there, and they did a good job, and they got people in and out quickly. So there are a lot of numbers out today, too. So if you want to vote, you still got almost 2 hours. So the polls close at 8 o'clock, and you can vote at any of the 9 locations, so whichever one's closer to you. So with that said, I'm going to move on to an open work session. This time, need a motion and a second to adjourn from legislative session to go into an open work session.
So moved.
Got a motion by Mr. McCain. Do we have a second?
Second.
Yeah, a second by Mr. Davis. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Shipley, would you like to come up?
Good evening to all of you.
Good evening. Hey, go ahead and state your name for the record and what you're here for.
Yes, my name is David Shipley. I'm the Director of Emergency Services for Wicomico County, and I'm here to recommend a suggestion to revision to the county code dealing with emergency declarations.
Okay. You want to go through briefly what you want to talk about?
Yes, sir. The change or suggestion that we're talking about is extending the duration of a county executive declaration of emergency from 7 to 22 days. This addresses the timing issue that's associated with the council meeting on the first and third Tuesday of each month. If the first council meeting falls on the first of the month, and a good example is October, and a month having 31 days, the second meeting would be on the 15th of that month. This will result in a void of about 21 days from the second meeting mentioned to the first council meeting in the following months, which would be November. The 22nd day that I'm talking about would be a day cited to be used for implementation of a council actions. The void that is created negatively impacts the county executive and county council's actions associated with emergency declarations and extensions of emergency declarations. This proposal eliminates the needs for council members to meet in emergency sessions in some situations, and that would be needed to extend the declaration of a county executive.
Any discussion? Mr. Holloway.
Yeah, Mr. Shipley, can you give us two questions? The first one, can you give us an example or some examples of where this has been a problem in the past?
Yes, back in 2019, on October the 3rd, 2019, then County Executive Culver had implemented a burning ban, and he needed to do an emergency declaration to do that. So he issued it on October the 3rd, which then expired on October the 10th.
Right.
And there was some confusion about trying to get an emergency council meeting put in place at that point. So what he did is he issued another 7-day declaration that went from October the 10th until the 15th. And then the council met at its regular meeting on the 15th, and they extended the declaration. So if we would have had that original 21 days, it would have, up to that 22 days, it would have extended across those two declarations that the county executive had to make.
So the county executive can place another 7 days on top of the first 7 days if they want to.
That was what was done. I'm
But
going
legal.
to say that's what was done. I don't know that that was the best remedy to continue to do it that way.
Can we ask the council attorney, was that appropriate?
I don't see why it wasn't,
Okay.
under those particular circumstances.
The other question, can you give us some examples of emergency situations? I know there's more than just a burn ban, there's snow, there's other things. I guess I would say not major catastrophes. We would know what a war, or a hurricane or a tornado would be, but other, I guess you would say, more insignificant emergencies. Any of them are, none of them are really, but.
Well, the examples you gave would be the only ones where I would ever approach the county executive to do an emergency declaration, which would have been, like you mentioned, burning bans were the snow emergencies back in 2017, and of course Irene in 2011 and Sandy in 2012. And those were times when I did request the county executive to do that emergency declaration.
What about what we're seeing now, or had been seeing across the country with civil unrest? Would that be appropriate for the county executive to call for a declaration of emergency?
I think if you're talking about the civil unrest, that would be something that I would think he would seek counsel from the sheriff and all the law enforcement agencies, in the county before he would make a determination about the need for it.
Because I know, like, when Baltimore City had theirs, before the governor could send in the National Guard, they had to have the city declare a state of emergency.
I don't know that, calling up that kind of law enforcement activity. I know that Sheriff Lewis has memorandums of understandings with other agencies that he can call upon. He does it all the time.
But I don't know if that involves the National Guard.
No, I don't, no.
So it's something we may want to look into with this. Any more discussion? Okay. Ms. Harley, where do we go from here with this?
The next step would be to have the bill introduced, and we can do that at the next council meeting if that's what council desires to do.
Okay. All right. Do you have anything else?
No, I don't.
Okay. Thank you very much. We'll be in touch with you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Dave.
All right. It was a quick meeting. It's election night, and we didn't want to hold people up with a lot of work sessions, so need a motion to adjourn.
So move. Second.
Thank you.